Hello, my name is Megan O'Russell.
And my name is Christopher Russell, and welcome back to Page by Page, writing the book in real time. And before we go any further, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear author. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I like you.
I like you too. So yes, we are recording this on Megan's birthday, and it'll be going out the next day. So on the 12th, we are recording it on the 11th. And I know it's kind of a weird birthday because I had to go talk about, people who died on a little ship called the Titanic. But do you?
Yeah, you have a weird job.
I have multiple weird jobs. Do you want to share with everybody what I got you?
Oh, so my birthday present, because we like breweries, obviously, and beer. I don't know if you knew this. But he got me, it's a pub pass for Orlando breweries. So it's basically like you buy a pint, get a pint free map of like all these breweries. So we get to go on all these brewery dates, and it's even like this little shiny booklet.
Well, and if
so it even came in a little fancy package.
It's really pretty. But a couple of
not indicative. Like the decoration on the outside is definitely like not indicative of an Orlando vibe. Like,
no, it isn't. It's very like not, Vegas, New York City kind of.
It is like you look at the buildings and you're like, this is not
Orlando.
This could not, in fact, survive a hurricane. That's not going to work.
That's true. A little bit of background to those, too, if you've been with us. Number one, we actually both, and we haven't talked about this, but we're getting to that age, and I don't know about the rest of you, where we're just like, I don't want more stuff. We have plenty of stuff. Like, Well,
if you have stuff, then you have to store stuff.
That's kind of it. And like, for me personally, and I'm not going to speak to you on this or speak about your thoughts on this, but like, I have the video games I want. I have a good TV. Like, I don't want anything else.
Well, I mean, I want like more books.
Well, yes, but obviously, that's different.
Yeah, but like, I don't like, there's not a lot of stuff.
But also, as we talked about a few weeks ago, it's been tough, right? Because we are business partners, and the business partner ship has been kind of overtaking our marriage ship. So this is kind of to, so that we can go on dates, and we have reasons to explore Orlando.
Yeah, because Orlando's actually a really cool city. Wait, do cheers.
All right, let's do cheers. I love you.
Because, I mean, again, Florida is Florida. But Orlando is actually really great. There's so much cool stuff here. It is not just theme parks. Like, people who are like, Orlando is only the theme parks, not even
really
not.
No.
There's so much theater and art and food and like weird random speakeasies.
And what is this? This is like 25 different breweries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in
there's
Orlando.
25 different breweries in Orlando.
Yeah, on this pass, and there's no way that's all of them.
Yeah, but there's like burlesque. There's all the Comic-Cons. There's like, it's really cool. There's always something very cool going on in Orlando. Even if you were like, I will not set foot near anything that is a theme park, you could be busy doing something artsy every day of the week.
Did you see what one of these is?
No.
Crooked Can Brewing.
Oh, I love that one.
We love Crooked Can. So yeah, we'll be going back to that one too. Oh, the mac and cheese or the pizza or that hot honey pizza. Oh man. Okay. All right. Okay. So we did that. Oh, we didn't talk about the beer of the week. It's a brand new one. Are you ready? It's unholy. It's not brand new. But it's so good. Are you okay? Are you thinking about the pizza?
No, I'm not.
What are you thinking about the mac and cheese?
Pork belly mac and cheese.
Yeah. Oh man, they have this So Crooked Can is inside of this.
You're
I'm
so glad I do not have to read the chapter because I am literally staring into space, dreaming of pork belly, which is very weird.
That is kind of strange, but it really is really good. Although I think they kind of overload it with pork belly. They put a little bit too much. They do
put a little bit too much pork belly on it.
But it's so good.
But it's also like, like if your big complaint about your meal is, man, you gave me too much pork belly. Like, okay, poor you. That's like the epitome of a privileged people problem.
Correct.
I had too much gourmet meat on my mac and cheese.
It's so good. It's so
like,
good.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay, I do have to call you out the fact that you called pork belly gourmet.
Okay, if you think about everything that is happening in the world right now, it is not Spam. It is fucking gourmet.
Mm-hmm. I cannot refute your logic. So with all that said about pork belly, do you want to give us?
You have a cat. It's every time we get you in this ring light, you have a cat here by your eye, and I'm
going to change
sorry.
this ring light. So do you want to give everybody a previously on?
Okay, we have a problem.
What?
Because we have the event next week, because we have Once Upon a Con. So I started writing in the next chapter already today.
Oh, no. Okay.
I can't remember where one chapter... I think you might have to do previously on.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Because I can't remember where I stopped information from one to the other, because I have 2 previously ons in my head. And oh, shit, I'm not sure which one's right.
Do I need to get close to the microphone so I can pop my peas the way that you do? Huh? Should I do that?
I'm sorry. I was stood on a stage in community theater at a very young age and gone, pop, 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 pop.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
I'm just now like I'm seeing those in the what is it? It's the audio file, but you can do like a spectral image of it, so you're seeing the warmth of the tones and stuff, and so I can literally see those pops now. I can see them in my head. Stop it! Quit! All right. Do you need me to do? Okay. All right. Okay. Ready? Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf.
Okay, I'll do that part, and then you can go in with the actual description, because that's not how it goes. Ready?
I'm sorry.
No, I can't say previously.
I was waiting for it.
Last time on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf.
We join Ella on a Monday back at school, finally going back to school after the great kidnapping of Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer. I'm really bad at this. This is taking me, wait, hold on. This is taking me back to during the pandemic when you were having me do the 1-minute summaries of books, and I was so bad at it. Okay.
Okay, wait, do you want me to try it? I'll try it.
Okay, all right. Well, here's the outline. Here's what you need to know. Okay. So, Kate is a coward and left to go talk to the Nicolix, and then we see them go into high school, and then the BFD happens.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you got it now?
Yeah, should I snap?
No, I don't know. Let's...
Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf. Elliday has finally made it back to Laureldale High after a week of seclusion after that unfortunate kidnapping problem. Unfortunately, as she is escorted back into school by her loving friend, she discovers a pregnancy test instruction pamphlet in her locker, and everyone sees it. Bwah, bwah, bwah. Fortunately, Elliday's like, LOL, fuck off, and figures out very quickly that it's probably Hailey and Beatrice who put the instructions in her locker, and Elliday kind of goes a little Ella on them. And we discover through one of Ella's visions that Hailey and Evan are going to have a little...
bundle of joy?
Evely?
Evely?
Halvin?
Hey, what? No.
Halvin?
Nope.
Evely?
We're not half naming. Nope. I refuse.
We have to give them a couple names.
No, they're not. No, because in that vision, they are not a couple.
But how many married people hate each other? Like, they are already, like, ripe for year 15 of marriage. Actually, with a lot of married people seen, they're, like, ripe for month 6. Am I right?
Okay. Is
that too real?
Yeah, we have a little. It's a little real. It's okay, though, because that's what we're about on this podcast, is being real, man. Yo.
It's a fiction podcast.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so are you ready to jump into the chapter?
Yeah, I think I did a great job previously on.
You definitely did. Okay, so then I present to you my version of previously on. No, I'm kidding. I present to you Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf by Megan O. Russell, Chapter 7. Girl Talk. I will not bite my therapist. I will not bite my therapist. I will not bite my therapist. At least not again. Today is the day. Mrs. Parker gave an excited little clap. We finally get to dive into field day prep. Wait, that's not canceled? Paige said, a hint of panic in her voice that had no hope of luring my attention from the 3D chess-style battle that had seized my brain as panic, dread, self-doubt, and pure fucking self-loathing fought for control. Field day is back on, Mrs. Parker beamed, and with some excellent work on the part of my colleagues and my... When did this happen? Paige tried to cut in, but Mrs. Parker spoke right over her. This field day is going to be the best we've had in years. Currently relevant problems in order of I'm fuckedness. 1. Crashed into a vision and panicked in front of a pack of students, some of whom were fucking filming. 2. Haven't found Caleb or Violet. 3. Misplaced Jason. Did the teachers forget the school has a student activities committee? Paige asked. Paige, Mrs. Parker said. Responsibility for school activities ultimately lies in the hands of the faculty. 4. Shouted Hailey's urgent need for a pregnancy test in front of a crowd, of which there's now video evidence. 5. Field day. Great, Paige gave Mrs. Parker an irreproachable smile. I'll let the student committee know they don't need to come in at 5:30 Friday morning since the responsibility of showing up before dawn to set up for school events ultimately lies in the hands of the faculty. Q gasped from the back row. Miss Paxman. Mrs. Parker wasn't fucking smiling anymore. Did I miss her? You can't grab my tit on the video. These will go up eventually. Stop it. Oh my God, that's staying in. Q gasped from the back row. Miss Paxman. Mrs. Parker wasn't fucking smiling anymore. Did I misunderstand your logic? Paige blinked. 6. The fuck do I do if Paige gets expelled? 7. The fuck do I do about Hailey? And Evan? And their spawn? And what the fuck went/could go so wrong between them to make Evan's hatred that impenetrable mass? Some situations, Mrs. Parker gave Paige a very clear listen to what I'm saying and shut the fuck up glare, require adult conversations and decisions that students don't need rolling through their heads while they're trying to focus on their studies or the fun of field day. Paige glared right the fuck back at Mrs. Parker. Considering all the drills the woods behind the school stretch all the way to Kate's, I said. Every face in the room whipped toward me. For a moment, I hated every single one of them. I got kidnapped from those woods and the boogeyman is still out there. I met Mrs. Parker's gaze. She had the decency to pale. The faculty probably spent most of their meeting talking about me and their plans for what to do if another girl gets snatched. Ella, Mrs. Parker said gently. What are you doing, Ella? Can't talk about those things in front of students, right, Mrs. Parker? I said. Her lips parted in a little, but the beep that began morning announcements saved her from having to comfort the fucking nightmare that is me. Good morning, Laureldale students, Mrs. Kowalski's voice filled the room. I would like it to be known here that I am aware that Mrs. Kowalski was not from the Midwest. Megan said, do it like you did in the last book. And I went, what are you talking about? She's like, wasn't she Midwestern? And I was like, I don't think so. No.
Well, that's not even like pure Midwestern.
Yeah,
I don't know what that accent is, but I think it's hilarious and I like it.
So we're just keeping it now. Yeah. So I don't know. Mrs. Kowalski is, she's just starting life anew, man. It's okay.
She went through like this movie binge over the last week, and she's one of those people that just like picks up accents really quickly.
Actually, I think that the canon here should be that Mrs. Kowalski is ill, so her sister Mrs. Kowalski has come in to take the position. Or it could
be that when she panics, her accent comes out.
I like it. Okay.
We're going to go with that canon. That's it. It's Mrs. Kowalski's accent comes out when she panics.
She panic Minnesotans? Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going to get write-ins from people from Minnesota. That is not how we sound at all. I'm kidding. Kind of. Okay. Good morning, Laureldale students. Mrs. Kowalski's voice filled the room. Not that I needed comfort. It's field day week at Laureldale High. Mrs. Kowalski's tone had either an extra hint of pep or panic. A quick review of basic rules before you all jump into preparing your field day teams. Comfort, unnecessary. Resorting priorities, very necessary. Let me go back. Comfort unnecessary. Resorting priorities very necessary. Currently relevant problems in order of, oh, I'm fuckedness, take 2. 1. Can't be trusted to speak. Solution. Talking isn't going well today, so just stop fucking doing it, Ella. Each homeroom class is its own team, Mrs. Kowalski said. No non-team members can assist in any competition. 2. Vision in public with no fucking warning. Solution. Hopefully. Sacrifice a finger to an under-nail jab treatment and hope pain helps. No student may compete in a sport for which they play on the JV or varsity teams at Laureldale High. 3. Misplaced Jason. Slightly time critical, but no point in sprinting to find him since I had no fucking clue how to ask him to give Hailey some grace because the poor wannabe demon has enough going on without implying I know anything I shouldn't or that I didn't realize how badly she was trying to fuck me over, thereby marking myself as not psychologically ready to be at school. A student may coach an event in which they play on the JV or varsity teams are the subject equivalent at Laureldale High. Protect Paige from Paige. Simple solution, just fucking cry if I need to wrangle her. All work for team banners, fight songs, choreography. The fuck choreography? And the keepers of the Arcane Text tournament must be fully created by homeroom team members. 5. Faking it through field day, which I apparently should have put higher on the list. Any team found to have been using harassing behavior. A voice that sounded uncomfortably like Hailey's came through the speaker, rising above Mrs. Kowalski's. Outside work will be disqualified. Mrs. Kowalski's consonants popped like she'd moved her mouth right next to the microphone. I love how instead of taking the direction at the end, I pulled away from the microphone and elongated the vowels, not the consonants.
You know, some actors just can't take direction.
That's true. That's true. I've worked with a lot of them. 6, not here in Orlando. You guys are amazing. That is absolutely a jab at. It doesn't matter. 6, Hailey Harper and the BFD. Solution? Question mark? Yep. No clue what the fuck to do about that one. That's not. Maybe Hailey shouted through the speaker. A low rumble that sounded way too much like Jason interrupted her. The cult of Ella enough. The speaker went silent, cutting off what I was 90% sure was Principal Harrison shouting over Hailey. Fun. My own cult. I waited for a bubble of laughter I'd have to fight down. It didn't come. No one else in homeroom laughed either. Mrs. Parker turned to face the speaker like she could will it to beat back on. This is better than Kate's, Ella. This is the closest to freedom you're going to get, Ella. Beep. All event rosters must be turned into the front office by noon Thursday. Did that work?
I mean, I don't know if there are words in there, but close enough. Just keep going. It's fine. It's fine.
Mrs. Kowalski's cheer achieved an uncanny valley level nightmarish tone.
I think that was quite uncanny. Point. Like this class's assignments are going to be turned in before Thursday. It is not an issue.
All event rosters must be turned into the front office by noon Thursday. Is that better? Look, Uncanny Valley has a lot to do with robots, all right? So I'm going for that.
Or aliens.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You're not the only one with problems, Ella. As always, the winning class will have the incredible opportunity to participate in a new moon astronomy overnight with the Falls Lake Conservation Association, Mrs. Kowalski said. None of you are messing this up for us. Paige scanned her subjects. Sibyls aren't meant to wallow, Ella. May the best team win, Mrs. Kowalski said. Start with rule 1, Ella. Survive. Oh, we will. Paige stood, shooting a poisonous smile at Mrs. Parker. Even if I've been deprived planning time by information gatekeeping from the faculty. This afternoon, we will have a... Oh, sorry, that's not her. This afternoon, we will have a full school assembly in the gym, Mrs. Kowalski continued. I have the preliminary list of event assignments I made at the top of the semester. Paige opened her binder and, because Paige Paxman, folks, pulled out a printed spreadsheet. Students will be released from the assembly in time to collect their bags from their lockers before boarding their buses, Mrs. Kowalski said. Please do not bring extraneous items to the assembly. Rob is still AWOL. Paige crossed out a row. But we have the excellent addition of Ella. Tessa, are you supposed to be here? Will take place as scheduled, Mrs. Kowalski said. The announcements haven't finished, Miss Paxman, Mrs. Parker said. Winners don't wait, Paige said. I fled the beast, Tessa winced. And ran into the hailstorm? Paige coughed a laugh. Odd choice, but happy to have you. As we stride hand in hand into a wonderful week here at Laureldale High School. Mrs. Kowalski finally finished. And the listener is going, oh my God, we don't have to listen to that anymore. No?
I once killed a character because I didn't want to listen to your voice anymore.
It's true. I would literally read everything like, well done, everyone.
And it annoyed me so much, I offed that character so I wouldn't have to listen to it anymore.
Of all people, kill Mrs. Kowalski. That's fine.
We can't kill her. I like her.
Okay, well, then you can keep her alive.
Well, until we need to kill her because we have to kill someone that we kind of like but aren't like pivotal to the plot, you know?
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, like,
kind of like Noah, and he's going to die. I'm assuming.
Poor Noah.
Poor Noah.
Okay, continue.
Why did that sound like a threat? Alex of Paper Scythe, the band that didn't get to play because the food truck fest went to hell, said, "Be useful, Alex." Paige didn't look up from scribbling notes in the margins of her spreadsheet. Alex stood. "I nominate Paige as field day team captain." "Alex," Mrs. Parker held up a silencing hand. "I second Paige's captain," Tessa said. "In favor?" Alex said. "Aye." I raised my hand along with every other person, including Mrs. Parker. Paige glanced up, scanned the room, gave a satisfied nod at the unanimous vote, then plunged right into full, I don't even know what mode. "Have there been any changes to the events?" Paige asked. "Dictatorial mode?" "Cross country and capture the flag have been cut," Mrs. Parker said. "Sad, but understandable," Paige nodded. "Crisis manager mode?" "And the obstacle course placement and talent show rules have been updated," Mrs. Parker said. "Anything to affect assignments?" Paige frowned. "No, but the talent show team needs to review the rules before they start planning." Talent show team? At least I'm not at Kate's. Mrs. Parker perched on the front of her desk, abandoning her proper place by the board, seeming to enjoy being caught up in the planning frenzy as Paige began tossing out assignments and instructions I only quasi-absorbed. My brain couldn't hold on to the details of who would make up our 3-person KAT team and the details of the vision I'd had in the hall and planned to prevent massive childhood trauma for Hailey and Evan's baby. Hailey and Evan's baby. Fuck. Breathe, Ella. I tried to focus on sketching out the dark shield that had surrounded Evan, creating something that would give a therapist weeks of extra work, agreeing every time Paige said, "Okay, Ella?" "You didn't make their choices, Ella. Seeing something is not the same as causing something." The platitude didn't bring any more comfort than usual. By the time the bell rang, Paige had updated my list of events and tasks twice, and I'd sketched out enough of the vision to be 96% sure it was all representational bullshit that wouldn't do me a fucking sliver of good in figuring out what the fuck I should be doing about the BFD now that I had this information I wanted very, very badly not to have. I hurried into the line of students fleeing Paige's newly claimed domain, resisting the temptation to shove people out of my way because if Alex pausing in the fucking doorway to fucking flirt with a freshman stole my chance to catch a glimpse of Violet or Caleb, "Come to the bathroom with me." Paige squished into line beside me, looping her arm through mine in a very not asking way. "I think I have something in my eye." "Shouldn't you see the nurse for that?" I gave my arm a testing tug, gauging my chance of freedom as we finally made it into the hall. "Friends help friends, Ella." Paige pinned my arm to her side. "Chance of freedom, 0%. She didn't lead me toward our second class or even into the first bathroom we passed, but all the way to the little 2-stall bathroom reportedly reserved for emotional and or intestinal meltdowns. Paige stopped at the door, which she should have been able to just push open, and knocked the shave and a haircut rhythm on the chipped yet polished wood. The lock clicked, and the door swung open, revealing a pinched-browed Sydney, who yanked me inside, relocking the door as soon as Paige darted through. "Ella, I need you to breathe." Sydney took my shoulders. "Breathe? Fuck, shit, I'm not breathing? Is this not breathing? Shit! And whatever's going on, no, you can tell us anything," Sydney said. Had it been so long since I'd breathed properly, I didn't remember what breathing was supposed to feel like anymore? "You know we're going to be here with you, no matter what." Paige took my hand. A kind yet impossible sentiment. Sydney stared deep into my eyes, searching for some truth there was no fucking way I could give. "Is there any chance you're pregnant?" That again. "No, absolutely not." I held Sydney's gaze for an extra heartbeat before switching to lock eyes with Paige. Truly was born with a defunct reproductive system and really do think Hailey slipped the instructions into my locker. That sphincter for a soul, hateful little... Not helping, Paige, Sydney said. Ella, are you sure you're okay? I'm already over it. I gave a hearty nod of affirmation, even though I felt way closer to an existential crisis than okay. But dealing with a lifelong medical issue, sweet Sydney began, doesn't bother me, I shrugged. I've proven it to several mental health professionals. Not all therapists are created equal, Paige said. I had the best Aetherian option available. Hailey's weak-ass attempt at vengeance was a mere blip of bullshit. No, it was bullying, and it won't be happening again. Paige's grin had a slightly wicked edge. Harrison doesn't tolerate that shit, and with Jason's full account of Hailey threatening you at the food truck fest, I'm going to guess we're about to enjoy 2 to 3 days of Hailey free school. Fucker face. It wasn't that bad, I said. Yes, it was. Sydney crossed her arms, suddenly looking like a guard blocking my escape. She deliberately aimed for public humiliation and rumor-mongering, which boomeranged because I'm an idiot. Kate made all 4 of us promise to keep you away from high-stress situations at school, Paige said. And whatever the hell crawled up Hailey's ass to make her spew venom your way has made her mere presence a stressful situation, Sydney said. But Hailey's got bigger problems. The class bell rang. I stepped toward the door, but Sydney didn't clear my path. But what? Sydney pursed her lips. For one breathtakingly idiotic moment, I wanted to tell Sydney not to move so I could snag a picture of her to send Gran. Show Gran how like her Sydney looked when displeased. Same furrowed brow, same pursed lips. But dead people don't have cell phones. Ella? Paige used the worried tone I usually catch as I'm falling into a vision. Lack of truth doesn't always require a lie, Ella. It's not mine to tell. I let myself linger in choosing the right words, giving intrigue time to fill in the gaps. Something happened, and it makes being mad at Hailey really hard for me. Barring demonic possession, that girl ran out of excuses for being a narcissistic misuse of oxygen in 9th grade, Sydney said. The 12 people that won't be relieved to get a break from Hailstorm Hailey, bang, bang, bang. Shit! Sydney leapt toward me, spinning to face the door. Bang, 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 bang! Sydney and Paige locked eyes, having a full conversation relayed in a language of winces I didn't understand. Let me in. A beautifully familiar, anger-filled voice came from the hall. Dodging around Sydney, I twisted the lock, yanking the door open. Relief and heartbreak collided in my chest. Violet Nikolic. Dark smears under her eyes that didn't belong on a werewolf's face. A new kind of weight on her shoulders. Violet stepped into the bathroom and held the door open. Get out. She pointed between Sydney and Paige. Now. We all have to get to class. Paige reached for my shoulder, ready to steer me to English. I need to talk to Ella. You're leaving, Violet said. Don't make my day worse. Violet. Paige switched to a soothing tone. Sydney and I promised Kate... You're making my day worse, Violet said. Run away before I take it out on you. Tell Mr. Barrett I'll be right there. I lifted Paige's hand from my shoulder and gave her a tiny push toward the door I didn't feel guilty for since Violet really did look ready to shred the first convenient prey. You walk her all the way to class. Paige kept her glare fixed on Violet as Sydney dragged her into the hall and away from the potential werewolf crash-out zone. It was my turn to lock the bathroom door. Breathe, Ella. You can be the comforter for once, Ella. Attempting to shove my self-centered assholery aside, I turned to face Violet. Tell me Kate hasn't been lying and you really are okay, Violet whispered. I'm fine. I answered the unexpected opening question honestly, but Violet started to shake, her whole frame trembling like she might crack apart. But... Her voice broke. She shut her eyes, swallowing hard, keeping her eyes closed as she tried speaking again. That man took you, and it had to be connected to Clara, and I pushed you to look for her, and if he hurt you, it's my fault, and I'm so sorry. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Oh, Vi. I pulled Violet into a hug, squeezing hard like that could keep her from crumbling. I was only kidnapped for a few hours. Ella, you... All right, more than a few hours, but way less than a whole day. I hugged her as hard as I could, accepting it probably felt pathetic to her werewolf frame. I promise I'm fine. Being kidnapped isn't fine. Okay, Kate. It doesn't even hit my top 10 trauma chart. I promise. I let go of Violet and pulled my sleeve down over my hand, using the fabric to wipe away her tears, finding comfort in the certainty that they weren't all for me, meticulously suppressing the need to confess how horribly she'd misunderstood the root of this catastrophe. You have nothing to be sorry for. Violet took a steadying breath, her stage 1 of repairing emotional armor. I wanted to come visit you, but my parents haven't let me near the Blackwood Slope since you were taken. What? They won't even let me go home. She glanced toward the door. We've all been staying at the crossing since the night you were taken. I barely convinced them to let me play with paper scythe for the food truck fest, and that shit show freaked them out enough. Dad's now escorting me to and from school. I couldn't think of the right words to offer. I'm sorry? At least they let you come to school? How's Luca? I asked. Sedated. Violet swiped her own tears that time. Kate brought something from my parents to give him. It's the only way they've been able to keep him from tearing into town to slaughter every fucker from the search and rescue team that stopped looking for Clara because a fucking storm got their boots wet. Something like a laugh snagged in Violet's throat. From what he's been mumbling around the drool, everyone who's ever worked for the Laureldale Sheriff's Department, the lady from the tourist center who wouldn't let him hang a missing poster in the front window, and the guy from the park who tried to have Luca arrested for passing out flyers about Clara made the death list too. If it wouldn't get my family burned out of town, I'd help him do it. Comfort your friend, Ella. Violet took my hand, staring into my eyes with one of those looks that you know means something, like the cosmos is whispering, remember this. This moment matters. Help me find the thing that murdered Clara. Violet, we find it, we kill it, we bring its head to Luca. My hand throbbed from her grip. Kate told my parents there was a second kidnapper you never saw. Were they a witch like the one that died in the fire? Could they have drugged Clara? Is the one you didn't see the one that hurt her? The desperation in Violet's eyes shoved down the 4 words I knew I had to get out, trapping them in my throat, making it hard to drag in air. The dead one didn't know anything about Clara, I managed. Coward, Ella, you're a coward. Did they say what kind of Etherean was... Did they say what kind of Etherean their partner was? Violet asked. Or was it an Arabite? Did you have another vision when you were at the cliff? Or when you found... No! I cut Violet off before letting her say whatever version of when you found my friend's shattered bones her brain could muster. I didn't... Breathe, Ella. Breathe, Ella. I didn't have a vision, but I did notice... Fuck, that sounds awful. Realize something. Violet froze. I watched her teetering on a razor-thin wire, a twisted part of me wondering if fire or despair waited to catch her as I slashed through the cord. I don't think any kind of supernatural killed Clara. I think it was a human. A hunter. Then, 2 things I very much hoped were not related happened at once. Violet swung for the wall, smashing her fist through the white industrial tile, and the loudspeaker beeped with a new announcement from Mrs. Kowalski. Ella Day, please report to the front office. Ella Day to the front office. And I wrote, oh, for fuck's sake.
See, in my head, the way that he reads it off of his computer is in Microsoft Word, and so his podcast notes are in track changes along the sides, like you can see him that way. So the way it looks, wait, can you scroll back? The way it looks at the bottom of the document.
Oh, scroll back to the bottom? Okay.
It looks like it goes, Ella Day to the front office, podcast. Oh, for fuck's sake. Like it literally looks like the last line of the chapter is oh, for fuck's sake, and I think it's hilarious. Should
we put that in? Should that be the last...
Oh, for fuck's sake. No, because that isn't in Ella's voice.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. Oh, for fuck's sake. That would be a Paigeism. Okay. So, okay. We're starting heavy, y'all.
Well, we need to start with the fact that there was a new music piece.
There was a new music piece, which I've absolutely already written.
I'm so proud of you for being on top of it and like really with your time management.
I am going, look.
I warned you like 4 days ago this was coming. And so you really took the time to prepare and get it done. And I'm so proud of you.
You know what's funny is that you won't actually get to hear it before it's done.
I know.
But I actually know like what I'm going to do for it. So I'm not too worried about it. Okay.
I really like my birthday present.
Do you? I'm glad. I'm really glad how much you like it. I did a good job. So, okay, you know what? Before we get into the heaviness, I want to say something that you talked about when we were, I don't remember exactly why it came up, but in it, we were talking about the bandstand roof collapsing. And you were like, well, make science do sciencing. That's the easiest way to, like, what was it, like, to lead catastrophe? Or
well, no, like the easiest way to cause a catastrophe is to use nature with you.
Yeah, gravity.
So use gravity, like
gravity.
What causes big problem? Thing go boom boom. How does thing go boom boom? Gravity.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just like, how do we make a giant fire? Propane works.
Yeah, that's true. Don't touch that, Ella. Okay, I'm gonna go to that.
I'm gonna touch that shit.
So this was very interesting.
Okay.
And no, this is not a political statement. It is, however, a social commentary. I think, I'm not the author, but it strikes me as such. Clara Lucia Miranda, what ethnicity is she?
She is not white.
Yeah. So Megan said, because the reason that this is so important, because this came up when we were talking about the missing posters and the fact that people were like, no, you can't hand out those flyers. If Clara had been a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, would they have called off the search as soon as they did?
I mean, the thing is, statistically, no.
And that's the thing is, I'm not saying that. Obviously, you made the point. You're like, that's not my story to tell.
It
right?
is not my story to tell.
However,
but if I'm going to have a story about a girl who went missing and people did not bother fucking finding her,
yeah,
it is even more unrealistic than vampires and werewolves to have that be a blonde girl. Like, it's not a blonde girl that the news just didn't report on.
Yeah.
Like, the paper didn't write off the blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl and not do anything about it. Like, that's too good a story. No.
Yeah.
And it's one of those horrifying realities where it's not the point of the book and it's not like any big message. It's just like, I'm not gonna lie about that reality of like, no. If Clara had been blonde-haired, blue-eyed, whatever the sheriff's department said, the news would have picked up the story.
Well, and what you said, and hopefully nobody out there finds what I'm about to say offensive, because what we're saying is the absolute reality of this, is you said, no one went to look for the little brown girl. And it's like, oh my God, you said that and it was like gut punch. And it's unfortunately statistically true.
Yep.
Okay, I'm already here, so we'll snap it out if we need to. But look at Native American women. Mm-hmm. It's very similar situation.
The missing statistics the statistics are there. And again, it's not what this story is.
No.
It is not my story to tell.
No.
But it's one of those things where if I'm going to have it be in there, then there is no reason to have Clara be of Slavic descent.
Right, yes.
Like, there is no reason to make her that when it's not important for her character. And the reality is, blonde kids get looked for.
Yeah, oh my God, that's so sad. And not that they shouldn't get looked for, but so should the little brown kids.
Yeah.
Ugh,
like everybody should.
Everyone should, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we're staying on the up here. What drills, Megan? What is Paige talking about, considering all the drills we've...
Oh, when Paige is talking about when Mrs. Parker's like, there are some conversations we don't need to have with students, and Paige is like, we have fucking drills around here all the time, which I, again, didn't want to go into it because it's not my story. I'm a millennial. I'm older than this.
Yeah.
Like, this started after my real time in public school because I did flip to homeschool later on.
Yeah.
But kids these days are so used to fucking active shooter drills. You can run basically anything by a youth and they're like, okay, we die. And they go with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same. So for teachers to be like, we're sheltering you from cross country runs might be too hazardous. Okay, lady. Like, cool. Glad we're sheltering on that one.
Yeah. So speaking of those events that got cut from field day, going into field day in general, why Why do I assume that Paige's class is going to win? Did we talk about this?
Because the prize for winning is so good.
It's so good, and also a dark sky thing. I'm like, oh, come on now.
A dark sky field trip and a paranormal book.
Like, absolutely, of course they're going to win. I mean, you're not going to confirm nor deny.
It's not even necessarily that they're going to win.
They're going to be there.
Somehow this shit's going down, and we are going to end up at this field trip, because you don't bring up those kinds of details of like a dark sky field trip overnight.
See, do you see what you'd be missing if you weren't listening to the podcast? Like, that would just be lost in so many people.
I'm not saying whose team is going to win.
It's going to be Paige's team.
I'm just saying that
I will literally go look for her files.
This random ass prize out of my sphincter where Hailey's soul lives, to be like, oh, look at this cool thing that I'm never using. I would have given them a pizza party. A student may coach an event in which they play on the JV or varsity teams or the subject equivalents. So Megan goes, so like a mathlete can coach a paper airplane team. I was like, what? Well, no. So it's like a cheerleader cannot be on the cheer team for the cheer section, but they can coach it.
Yeah.
And like the science and mathlete kids, because like the paper airplane competition, if it's a timed paper airplane competition, so you have 1 minute to make the best paper airplane, you're not going to let a mathlete do it. But you could let a mathlete punch another kid into shape and train them how to do it.
Yeah, sure.
So that's kind of the thing, is that like you're not allowed to have a ringer, but your ringer can pass off their skills to someone else.
Right.
As help, but then someone else is learning that skill. It's not someone who's like, well, I'm not going to be able to fucking beat them, so why am I trying?
You know, speaking of a ringer, do you want to remind people why this is a big deal to Ella? Like, why is this a problem?
Because sports are not good for Ethereans.
Right. Yeah.
Because running at the right pace for a fit but not athletic human, like that's like, what a calculation to have to be like, and this is where I start getting out of breath. Wipe fake sweat. And then if you're like in a team event, it's like, okay, well, do I like pull really hard on tug of war and then have it be like, how the fuck did this how do I function body to make this? Like, everyone's cheering and you're like, try just enough.
You know who did I think a pretty fun thing with that trope was Teen Wolf, the series. Do you remember with him on, was it football, right?
Lacrosse.
Oh, lacrosse. That's right.
It was lacrosse.
So funny. I love that lacrosse is like taking over the country.
Well,
it's fun.
Well, because lacrosse got like popular because it's like a cool bougie sport.
Yeah.
So
but
that
got
means
more affordable, right?
Yeah, but like if you're playing lacrosse in a YA book, it means that you're at a fancy school.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It means that like, oh, we're not just a school, we're a cool school.
Okay.
I don't know why that means that in YA. All I know is that lacrosse sounds horrifying because you have to run with a stick in your hand, and that in and of itself is dangerous. But that's all I know about it.
I think that's something I would have actually really enjoyed in school if I had gotten to play that. Because like I loved hockey. I played hockey a lot.
I'm sure you would have been great at it, but I would not have wanted young Chris to have that stick.
No, young Chris should not have had a stick to run with because somebody would have gotten hurt, probably me.
Because you put out your hands to catch yourself on a cactus with your
rollerblades? We don't need to
blades?
talk about that again. That was episodes ago. Why is this chapter called Girl Talk? I thought this was very interesting.
Oh, because there is no male in the chapter who manages to speak a full word.
Right.
The most that any man speaks in the chapter is Ena on Principal Harrison's part.
Yeah.
Like there is, and I didn't actually entirely do it that way. But when it got written that way, I was like, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like they're in a class with a female teacher. It's Mrs. Kowalski. Like, it just, those ended up being the players. But I was like, holy shit, that's hilarious. That somehow the only time a man spoke, it was interrupted and they didn't get through a whole word.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going through and seeing like what I wanted to talk about next, and this is not a big thing, but it was just so funny with the Ella's interjections throughout this scene, not vocal, just mental, where she's like, choreography, talent show team. At least I'm not at Kate's. At least I'm not at Kate's. She's like, this is better. This is better. This is better, right?
This is better. Small town bullshit is better than witch prison. Small town bullshit better than witch prison.
Does her inability to procreate actually not bother her?
I mean, I feel like you're assuming she thinks she's gonna have survival beyond her 20s.
Right.
Like, that's like the thing is like that is such a big thing. It's like, well, okay.
It is, but still, like, that seems like something that could actually kind of mess with you. If you have that knowledge and you're like, you know.
I feel like it could, but I feel like she's been so traumatized by other things. It's like one less thing I don't have to fucking worry about.
Right, that's true. Her
like,
life is so fucked.
There you go. Cut that one off the list. But I'm sure, like, for some siblings, it is super traumatizing and horrific. But for Ella and, like, her life, like, she lost her whole family for everything. She's like, fuck, no, I don't want to, no.
Yeah.
Like, staying alive is hard.
Yeah. This whole thing about wanting to get a picture of Sydney for Gran but dead people don't have cell phones. I was like, oh my God. So what I wrote was so sweet and a nice reintroduction to her trauma over losing her family and not fully grasping the fact that they're gone. So she's been without them for a while, but grief and acceptance take a long time. So it's clear to me here that she is still in the grieving process and still isn't fully accepting.
Well, the thing is also, like, if you look at how long we've been with her in this grief process, it's significantly longer than how much she's been in it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's
so,
true.
like, she has not actually been an orphan all that long.
Yeah, true.
Like, it's still pretty fucking fresh, so.
Good point. Oh my God. With the whole... and if he hurt you, it's my fault, and I'm so sorry. Vi, like that whole moment, I was literally tearing up. I was like, oh my God, when I first read it, it's like, oh.
Well, she and Clara shared a room.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's literally where Ella and Violet began and where they are now. Like, Ella is kind of Violet's best friend now, you know?
Well... best Etherean.
Well, yeah,
friend.
yes. That is an important distinction.
Well, because Violet is also like the one of them who has the healthiest home life.
That's
She's like, her parents are like, no, you are not going back to those woods. 100%. No, your father is driving you to and from school. You are coming straight back to the bar. We sleep here as a family. No, you do not. No, you stay with your father. Like, that's the kind of family that she has. So, like, yeah, it's super fucked, and her brother's in a really bad place, but, like,
her brother's fucking sedated. It's just like, I'll fucking kill you.
But Violet's mom and dad had a conversation, and they said, no, until we figure out what is snatching girls from those woods, our daughter does not go back there, not even to our house. Absolutely not. She does not leave the sight of an adult in the family. Like... Violet actually has the most stable home life.
I was only kidnapped for a few hours. All right, more than a few hours, but way less than a whole day. I was like, what the fuck, Ella? No, I wrote the actual fuck, Ella.
Here's the thing. We've been stuck in bad days of tech rehearsal that have lasted longer than she was kidnapped.
Yeah, in those days, if they're bad, they can be real bad.
Yeah, like, yeah, she was kidnapped and it really sucked, but, like, for being kidnapped, it wasn't actually that bad. Like, she's been kidnapped way worse before.
See, I'm very interested to find out more about that. Are we going to get to learn more about that?
Well, the thing is, it was like her third or fourth time. It's in my notes. Because one of them wasn't really fully kidnapping. It was like, meh. But, like, of all the shit she's been through, it's like, no one really threatened me that bad. I really had to pee, but I'm really having to pee. And well, he ended up dead, but that wasn't really that wasn't part of the kidnapping. Like the trauma part of it was not being kidnapped. That was like an incident to get over. The trauma is like the getting out of it.
Sure.
The trauma is like, if you could have waited 5 more minutes, we would have been fucking fine. But that's another previously on. So continue.
Oh my God. The desperation in Violet's eyes shoved down the 4 words I knew I had to get out, trapping them in my throat, making it hard to drag in air. I said to Megan, wait, what 4 words? And she went, I wrote them down because I knew that you were going to ask. Do you remember what they are? Or at least what they were?
Yeah, but do you want me to tell them?
I don't know.
We haven't gotten to that point in the story yet.
Oh, shit. Well, then no. But fact that
I
you
did
do have
write
them.
down the specific 4 words. And like the order, it's not like abracadabra, like those 4 words in that order aren't specifically important. But no, there is like a 4-word statement she needs to make that is going to change like this thing.
Okay. Cool. Well, that is all that I have. Did you have any final thoughts at all? See, look, I'm not asking you your thoughts right after the chapter now. No, nothing.
Was that supposed to give me more thoughts?
I don't know. It was supposed to make you less anxious. Okay, so I'm assuming that means that you do not have thoughts.
I have many thoughts.
That you're not going to be sharing with us.
Well, I already started writing the next chapter, so I'm really confused.
Okay.
Well,
that's fair.
no. Okay, I do want to point out one thing.
Okay, the 4 words.
No.
Okay.
No, is that it is the importance of hunters, and this is something that we're going to get to. Oh,
yes, that's right.
Next time and in the next chapter, and we kind of touched on it a little bit in book 1 and in some of the blog post and podcast episodes of like the difference between like hunters and reapers and like all these different things. But this is the first time that we're really going to see like the full explanation of like what this is come into play. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited about it. But I'm nervous to talk more about like the hunters and the reapers because it's in the next chapter.
Yes.
But I'm really excited to get more into it. And it's something that I've been really excited to get to for a while because it's one of those things that exists in the world and is important within the world, but we've never actually like encountered it.
Okay, sure.
So I'm very excited to finally be like, this is why this fucking information fucking matters. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's one of those notes that's been in the file, and I think it got mentioned a couple times in book 1, like the term hunters.
Yeah.
But we've never really like gone into it. And
not
so
in the book. There was like a blog about it. But
but to finally be like, okay, this is a thing. This is what this is.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it, but that's not this week. That's next week.
That is after Once Upon a Con.
And that's why I don't like starting writing before we film, because then I'm like,
but you had to this time because we leave,
Thursday and then we're going to be in Once Upon a Con. But I'm really excited because we actually have, Brittany is going to be at Once Upon a Con, and I've never gotten to meet her.
And our friend Kelly, who is going to be a dragon trainer there.
Yes,
right? Yes,
we have a dragon trainer friend who is going to be there. I think I might also be like vaguely acquainted with some other authors who are there, and we have family in the area. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about that one. And then after that,
we get to see our nephews, which is awesome. We haven't seen them in so long.
Con.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know
if I want to see them. Every time we see them, they get bigger, and it's weird.
I was about to say, I was like, Megan Elizabeth, you can't say, oh yeah, no, that's true.
I'm like, I did not agree to this.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It was funny when you were trying to get taller than my mother.
But now they're.
But now that you're like
creeping
up on me, I'm like, this isn't funny. It was only funny when you were doing it to Mom.
Will Matthew get taller than you? Will he get as tall as I am? Possibly.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, they'll both be taller than you.
Yeah, I know Daniel will. I know that.
But it's one of those, every time I see them, I'm like, this was not in the terms and conditions of being there. I did not agree. And I keep trying to convince my sister to just not give them protein.
You can't do that.
I was like, we just stop feeding them and this will stop happening.
Yeah, no.
Like,
no.
It just like use it, like put them in a tiny pot like they're a bonsai plant, and then they'll stay cute and little. But apparently that gets you arrested.
Yes, it does actually. Child Protective Services will show up.
You can't do that to children. You have to feed them foods that make them
And now
grow.
you understand why we do not have children.
Yeah, Jessica, my sister, was very much like, no, Megan, I can't do that. And I'm like, okay, can't? or haven't considered the benefits.
Can't is 100% correct.
Or haven't considered.
Oh my God. Why don't we go ahead and just tell people where they can find us, you weirdo?
Well, I'll be at Once Upon a Con.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
I will be at Once Upon a Con this coming weekend, and then I'm going to be at Dragon Con doing some awesome panels.
2 weeks from now, yeah.
You can find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can also find us at our page by page home on Substack, where you can find the text of the chapters if you are one of our sponsors or in the ARC team. And you can also find the podcast episodes, and you can comment along. If you are one of our Substack listeners, Substack has decided that your follows of the podcast no longer exist. So if you are a Substack listener for Page by Page, please do make sure that you go in and you refollow, resubscribe to the podcast.
Yes.
If you can rate, share, all those things, because we did do some switching on the back end of the podcast. We lost a lot of our reviews, a lot of our subscriptions, all of them sort of vanish into the ether because of the way things had to change over. So if you could please go back in, make sure you like all of those things, make sure that your subscriptions are in place so that you get every new episode. That would be super helpful as we continue to grow the podcast.
And I will honestly say that would be a really nice birthday present. If anybody wants to give Megan a birthday present, just hit that subscribe button wherever you listen to the podcast.
But I got one in my little
You did, and I think maybe we've got some time, so we should go check that out. And until next time, after Once Upon a Con, thank you for reading.